And we're going to start tonight with a very simple fly, total guide fly. It's just called a low water cray. Get some olive or rusty brown or even black thread going, and let's pop the hook in the vise. And what we're going to start with is TP 610. You could do ones, you could do twos, you could do fours, you could do the same sizes in a TP 650. You're going to want to have a brass cone or a tungsten cone. You could go extra large, large, medium, whatever you can fit on the hook that you're tying with. This again is going to be something that we're going to tie multiple weights in. You know, the fly is going to remain fairly small, but you're going to tie it with a tungsten and brass and extra large and medium, whatever works for your watersheds. Basic, what we're doing today, I've got a one in here, and I'm running a large tungsten conehead. Color-wise, I'm going to tie this, in oranges and browns and tans and olives, anything that imitates, what the bottom, the same color as the bottom. So, pretty simple stuff. Lay down a thread base, nothing crazy here. Take it back to about the barb of the hook. If you're just letting it hang, I'm just going to grab some of this Flashabou Speckled. I'm just going to grab a few strands. You can always take it away. My early days of fishing smallmouth, I spent a lot of time fishing dirty water, and the way that when I first started, I just fished a lot of dirty water spots, and I always had a lot of flash in my flies and whatnot. And then, as I got better and learned more and found other places to fish with clear water, and my skills got better, I started fishing a lot more muted stuff. But you can always take this stuff away once you get it tied in, and kind of set it up for the day, whatever conditions you're fishing. So I got my flash tied in. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tie in my legs, my rubber legs. So these hot tip legs, kind of cool. I'm going to grab a few strands. I would say, if you want to count them, go ahead. I'd grab between 4 and 6 legs total, and then you're going to double them over to tie them in. So I'm just going to grab a few, rip them off there, and what I'll do with this is I'll use the excess to build up a little bit of body on this fly so it's not super duper skinny when it gets wet. So just kind of tie those in like so, and you can kind of let them flare around there, and you can cut them wherever you want. But pretty simple, kind of looking like a tube at this point. But at this point I'm going to throw a loop in, like so. A piece of flash got me. And I'm going to grab my dubbing spinner. Let's see here. A little bit of wax on there. I'm just waxing up the thread. Some rabbit, it could be orange, it could be chartreuse, it could be whatever color you want. Just something contrasting. I'm just going to grab a little bit of this. I'm going to come in, kind of get the rabbit to sit up. I'm going to take my hand like so. I'm going to grab the rabbit, kind of run it through here. And then I'm going to come in with my scissors along the leather and cut it from the hide. You don't need a lot here. Definitely grabbed way too much, but that's okay for demonstration purposes. You're going to put that into your loop. Don't worry, you're going to get shots at this tonight. And you're just going to kind of line it all up. You guys see that? And I'm going to try to kind of put those butt ends right up against it, like so. I'm just going to spin it. And again, I have way too much here, but that's okay. Good practice for you guys. Okay, and all I'm going to do, now I've got this dubbing brush that I made myself, and I'm just going to wrap. I probably should have brought my cradle tonight. That would have helped. But we're not going to do this a ton. I'm just going to come in here. If you got a bobbin cradle, you're going to hang that bobbin in the cradle, which will make it a little bit easier. You're just going to put a little bump on the back of this. Alright? And if it bothers you, if you get some stuff hung up, you just kind of come in and just kind of clean it up like so. And then you're going to take your thread and you're going to lock that in. Get rid of the loop. Cut this out of here. And you got that thing ready to rock, and then just kind of back wrap up over top of that bump, kind of reinforce that thread and hide things there. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some pine squirrel. So there's options for this. If you got micro rabbit strips, or you have micro pulsator strips, or you have the squirrel. I'm just going to take one, and I'm going to tie it down the side. Get the other one tied in. Like so. And then again, the rest of this fly, you know how I originally tied it was I just grabbed a bunch of scraps and tied it up. If you want it to look really, really pretty, you could use your hen saddles, some of your smaller hen saddles. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a few feathers. So I'll grab a brown one, I'll grab a couple olives, I'll grab a tan, and just kind of mix them together. And you're going to wrap them as you go forward on this fly. So just grab what you have. Any type of hackle will do. If it's grizzly and earth tone, you're onto something. Got it. Just tie that in. And you're just going to do exactly what we do when we're tying feather changers. You're just going to wrap these forward. Look how close I was. Could have invented the game changer. I was tying this bottom dwelling scrapyard thing. Here we go. So nice one clump in there. You're going to do this 3 or 4 times depending on how good the feathers you're working with and how short they are. So you really can't make this look any better than this. You just wrap. If you're tying these for yourself, you can run the same size hooks, just vary the weight of the fly. Tie in different size cone heads. And if you want to tie something really light, use a bead. Now don't worry about the fluff and the base of those feathers, doesn't matter. Only matters to you. Get in there. Definitely a fly you could throw on the smaller rods. Definitely a fly that works really well in low water. Hence the name Water Cray. That's what we originally tied it for. I would fish this in the summertime. I'd fish this in the spring. Fish it in the fall. Whatever. You could fish it on a floating line. You could fish it on an intermediate. You could fish it under an indicator. Whatever way you want. A couple more and this bad boy's done. You can fill your box pretty quick with these. Caught carp on them, caught smallmouth, obviously. Drum, white bass. A little Schlappen collar finish. Do the same exact thing with a dumbbell-eyed fly if you wanted to tie something for flats carp or something, or a bead chain. And that is it. About as simple as it gets. You want the ultimate finishing move. It's all going to be hidden behind that cone anyways. Wipe it right on your thread. Try not to get on your pants. Just a couple of wraps. Boom, done. Half hitch. Oh, wouldn't even go. Went that glues that fast. And done. So, Water Cray. Simple, simple, simple. Easy peasy fly. Copper cone. gold cone, brass and black nickel, whatever they call it, whatever, don't matter. Just a simple fly, sinks super fast. It's like a little mini Ned TRD. Look at that.